Hi guys, this is Taylor and I'm here today with a big book haul. Even though this is an accumulative haul from the tail end of September, October, and November, it's still a lot of books, so I'm definitely not buying anything until the new year. Pinky swear. Oh, and the sun is going in and out from behind clouds, so sorry. So I'm gonna go kind of chronologically, kind of by subject, kind of by where I got them from. The very first thing I bought to coincide with my trip to New York City to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Alice in Wonderland, for which I have a vlog right here. But I've never read the original text of Alice in Wonderland, so I bought it in the edition that I've been wanting it in, with the intention of reading it before I went to New York, but it didn't come in time, so I haven't read it yet. But it's right here. It's this beautiful penguin cloth bound edition that also contains Through the Looking Glass and the original illustrations that we saw at the Morgan Library exhibit, which is really cool. It also came with a little catalog of all the penguin cloth bound classics, which is really nice because I'm American and I can't buy them. The next thing is going to be an ongoing thing on this channel that I'm going to call the struggle of the Murakami editions. Here in the US, Murakami's publisher, Vintage, is redesigning his books and I don't like them. I mean, they're fine, I guess, but I still want as many of my editions to match as possible. Knowing from experience that when books get redesigned but their ISBNs stay the same, it becomes very difficult to track down the older editions. So, not owning too many Murakami books to begin with, but knowing that I would eventually want to read most of his books, I panicked. I went to my local Barnes & Noble and picked up as many of the older editions as I could find and afford at the time. So I picked up the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, which is one of his most famous and most acclaimed. After Dark, which looks at Tokyo's nightlife, I believe, which is really intriguing to me, and also probably has my favorite cover design. And Sputnik Sweetheart, which, correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm thinking about another one, but I believe this involves lesbians, which I'm a little concerned about because Murakami has trouble writing women in my experience, and I'm a little bit concerned, but also excited. The next three I just picked off my Amazon wish list. Firstly, I have Union Atlantic by Adam Hazlitt, and I will admit to being a sad, sappy sucker for this book cover. And I've never heard anybody from BookTube talk about this, but let me read you a little snippet from the back. At the heart of Union Atlantic lies a test of wills between a retired history teacher, Charlotte Graves, who has suddenly begun to hear her two dogs speak to her in the voices of Cotton Mather and Malcolm X. With remarkable scope and precision, Union Atlantic delivers a striking vision of the violent, anxious world we've come to inhabit. I'm terrible at reading aloud, sorry. So it sounds kind of weird and pretty good in my opinion. Next I have The Vanishers by Heidi Julavitz, and I mean, this cover. Recently I've seen a lot of people read and enjoy her more recent release, The Folded Clock, which is also a stunningly beautiful book, but I've had my eye on this one for a couple years. As far as I can tell, this is about psychics and the afterlife and the bond between mother and daughter, but less in a spooky way and more of a literary way. And lastly, from Amazon, I have Not My Father's Son by Alan Cumming, a relatively recent memoir. I know Alan Cumming from his role as the MC in Broadway's Cabaret. He is a fantastic actor and LGBTQ activist, and is also uncommonly well dressed. This might be reaching, but based on the title, I'm assuming that this is kind of based on his growing up and maybe challenging his father's expectations of masculinity. I love it when masculinity is challenged. The next four are discards from the library. First is The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. I've heard from a couple people recently that this is a highly readable, accessible classic, and it was free. Next I have The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. This has been read by a couple booktubers recently who all really liked it, and it won the Man Booker. I'm not pointing at a thing, and it won the Man Booker. I think this is one of those things that it's better off not knowing much about because it's so short, but I've heard basically nothing but good things. The next book I was really surprised that we discarded because it's a really popular series at the library. It's The Shadow Cabinet, the third book of the Shades of London series, and I just finished the second book in the series, so perfect. I'm probably gonna read this soon, so I'll talk more about it then. And finally, from the discards, I have Know Your Beholder by Adam Rapp. This is a more recent release about a musician in his 30s who kind of hits rock bottom and ends up isolating himself in his childhood home in the middle of the winter. I'm intrigued. So next, I get to do a little unboxing. This is the first one, and I'm like 95% sure I know what this is. No! Yeah! This I actually won from a Goodreads giveaway. If you at all frequent Goodreads giveaways, you will recognize this. This is Phoning Home by Jacob M. Appel, and from what I gather, I believe this is almost a David Sedaris style autobiographical collection of essays, but with maybe more of a thought-provoking aspect. I also hope to get to this one soon. And finally, this is the thing that was taking forever to get here, and it's maybe the thing that I'm most excited about in this haul. Yes! This is the UK edition of Murakami's first two novels, which have both been out of print for years. We have Hear the Wind Sing and Pinball 1973. Look at this cover. You had to know I was gonna get this. Get it. Ah. 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 So I actually have more books. I'm gonna do a separate haul specifically for the things I got in New York City. So if you want more haul, I will put a link up here as soon as it goes up. Please check that out. Please let me know your thoughts on any/all of these books, and I will see you very soon. Bye!